Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Tracy, and I hope everyone is doing well. It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks, and I needed to take the time. I needed to take the time. But those of you who are actually, watch these videos, you will know that the one thing um, that I think the Lord has pressed on my heart prior to even starting this channel. And one thing that I'm an advocate for, and one thing that it's one of my missions to really, um, I guess, share this message that the Lord wanted me to share and just really press upon your hearts the importance of rest, the importance of just leaning into God's presence and leaning into the peace that God provides, God wants us to have in our life. And I can't say that it has always been easy for me, the journey to get here, um, especially if you're a person who is so used to constantly being on the go, constantly doing something, um, and just keeping busy. It's either busy with life, with work, with family, friends, you name it. But one of the things for me was always, yeah, not really taking the time to slow down. So these last few years, the Lord has really worked on me to slow my own pace down, slow it down, taking the time to really appreciate the beauty around us, taking the time to um, just sit and admire and bask in God's creation. Um, and also, one of the things that I think I've learned along the way as well, too, when you slow down, when you take the time to really get into God's presence, and when you um, lean into Him, you will actually start to develop a rhythm of gratitude, a rhythm of stillness, a rhythm of being present in the moment. And even the way that you talk, because even for me, like I was always a fast speaker, and even sometimes every now and then you'll catch me, like you see me speeding up. But, like I said, it's been a process, and just even learning how to slow down, being mindful of what you want to say, being mindful of what you're going to say, how you say it, the tone that you say it in, how you deliver. Um, it's either a message or even just in day to day conversations with people. So, this space, and I can't wait because there's so much that God's been um, working in my life that I'm going to get the opportunity, God willing, to share this wisdom with you guys. And so I'm so excited. I'm really excited of the transformation that, God is doing, not just only in my life, but as I'm continuing on this journey of walking with the Lord, um, it's seeing how God is so at work, seeing God's hand in everything, how everything gets all connected, is connected, I should say, is connected. Um, and just being so appreciative that God has chosen me. God has really worked on me. God called me back to Him, um, so that I can actually share this with you guys, share this with others. And I know the fact that I get to see the transformation and get to see God's glory and get to see God's hand in so many different ways in other people's lives, in situations, um, the world, day to day stuff. Like, it gets me so enthusiastic about this journey, about what this is about encouraging you guys, um, and about this space. We're going to see how long this video goes on for because I have a few messages, and I was really excited, and talking to God this morning, and one of the things that stood out to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, God, like how amazing it is that even when I take the time and when I slow down and I really am intentional about protecting my space, protecting my peace, being with the Lord, getting in my word, and making that a daily rhythm. It's a part of my lifestyle now. Um, that I have to be so honest. Sometimes I'm like, God, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? What is it that you want me to share with people? Because this isn't my channel. This is your channel. This isn't for me. Um, and it's so funny because I'm like, Lord knows, the Lord knows this is not something I wanted to do. Um, although I might be a legal person. I'm a dental hygienist, so I work with people, I talk with people in healthcare, and I love that. But still, when it comes to my personal time, my personal space after I'm done dealing with all the patients, um, I like my space. I like my peace. I like my little comfort zone. I love the way that I get to spend time with the Lord. And so when I started to get the nudges, the awareness, somewhat of a curiosity into creating a channel, creating a space that God is involved in. I'm like, oh, Lord. I'm like, please. But the Lord knows, like I said in one of my other videos, the Lord knows who to present opportunities to. The Lord knows who he can come to. And the Lord already knows who's gonna say yes, who's gonna say no, who isn't gonna answer the call. Um, and I was like, okay, God, let's go on this journey. It took me a while. And we're gonna get into it because I have so many stories to share, but it took me years. It took me years to really say, okay, you know what, God, I'm like, let's do this. I had said yes initially, and then when you start going on the journey and you start realizing, wait, hold on, God, what does this mean? I'm having to learn about your kingdom, your ways. Wait, hold on, you want me to teach people? Wait, hold on, you want me to share my testimonies with people? You want me to give you all the glory and use this platform to reach others? And I will never forget years ago when I read the passage about becoming fishers of men. um when the Lord spoke those words to Peter, his disciples in the Bible. And I'm like, wait, no, God, like this can't be it. And it just felt so huge to me. And I ran away from it. I ran away for years. I was like, no, God, I'm not ready. There was still parts of me that was still shy. There was still parts of me that needed deliverance. And when I say deliverance, it's sometimes you are not even aware what's kind of running behind the surface, running behind the scenes. And to me, it was, how do I get out of this space where I keep everything all to myself? I'm an introvert. Although, like I said, I deal with patients, so I have to be present. I have to engage them. I have to talk, and I'm used to that. But again, when I come back home and I'm in my space, I'm in my space. This is just me. So for God to kind of disrupt that, I'm like, God, you know how long it's taken for me to get to this point where I actually slow down and I'm spending time with you. Now you want me to turn around and share with others. You want me to start making videos and inviting people into a space that I was so unfamiliar with, very uncomfortable with. But this is where God gives you so much grace, and he's so merciful and he's so patient. That's the one thing about the Lord, so patient. And it's like, okay, all right, no problem. You're not ready at this particular moment. And it took years. And and I had to work through the feelings of being I guess feeling like I was letting God down, feeling like I wasn't being obedient, feeling like I wasn't grateful enough for all my blessings. And I learned that, it had to take it took time. There were certain things, especially when you still need to work through some things, especially from childhood. If you've gone through traumatic things in life, um, it could be from childhood through life, but it could also just be also as you're going through life and you're experiencing different things, experiencing different people. Um, there's certain things that will stick with you, certain things that will absolutely stick with you. And for me, one of those things was, you don't share what's going on with others. People don't really care um, about you like that. People don't have the time. And yeah. And so I think it's one of those things that's like, okay, fine. Like I had to deal with it. But the Lord said, you really are going to deal with it. You're not just going to sit down here. You're not just going to sit down here, wallow in it, continue to run from it, continue to run from yourself, continue to stuff everything down, suppress all your feelings, never speak up because you are afraid. Um, the Lord had to reveal certain things to me, especially for me, people pleasing tendencies and not want to rock the boat per se, or um, not having people truly know what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. So the Lord had to deliver me from that. And it's not to say that it's just magically you just get delivered like that. No, it was, putting me through different situations, different relationships with people, starting therapy just so I can get comfortable with talking, expressing, like share how you're feeling, what's on your heart that you haven't shared before. And I'll be so honest, it took years, 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 not years with the therapist, but it's just even just getting comfortable with talking to my family, talking to friends, talking to different people. Again, talking to therapists, going back to church, like being a part of small groups in church, my covenant community. Like it was a series of steps in order for me to get to this point. And it's still a work in progress. And but we're here, so I have to give all glory and all thanks to the Lord. So I guess this message will be for anybody, even though you may feel like you're introverted, even though you may feel like you can never get into the space where you can actually speak up for yourself, speak up for others, um, because of how you may be perceived, because you may be afraid of retaliation, you may be afraid of not being liked, or even something simple as, people may challenge you, people may have a difference of opinions too, right? And it's okay, but it's not for you to shy away from it. It's not for you to not speak up and not share your point of view, but it's also allowing God to work on you, work on your heart, to work on the things that need to kind of be stripped away. Because when you're like that, you're not effective for God, you're not effective for the kingdom. And people may actually need to hear what you have to say, right? People may need to hear that. So it's getting into that space and allowing God into your heart, and and just being honest. So I had to be honest. I'm like, God, there was things that I'm afraid of people, afraid how I'm going to be perceived. God, even just showing up, like I've shared in one of my earlier videos, like even in terms of being a perfectionist, like how I want to look, how I want to make sure that everything is perfect. And, again, God had to take me through a process of getting out of that mentality. Things don't have to be perfect because, our journey with the Lord, um, like it's a journey. You're never just going to wake up one day and just be perfect. But, it's sanctification. It's a process that you're working on. The Lord is working with you. The Lord is walking with you. And, so you become more and more like Christ. Not saying perfection, because only Christ was perfect, but you know what I mean? Stripping away the things that is not of God, stripping away all the conditioning that we've had to deal with growing up. Um, and even when you get into adulthood and the things that people say or how they behave towards you, um, social media, when you show up to your job, just even your roles. in your family dynamics, your friendships, all of that too, right? Just certain conditioning that we all have, and we all have almost like an expectation of placed on us of how we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to show up. But is that what God wants you to be? So it's a process. It is a process. And I am so grateful, like I said, that I could spend this time, I could spend it with the Lord and see just how He's working on me. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful journey. And this space, there's so much more that I'm working on behind the scenes. And whenever things are ready to be revealed, they will be revealed. But this space is for that. It is a space where you guys could come into and you can see the glory of God and you can see what transformation looks like and you can see and know and feel hopefully that you're not alone wherever you are in life. You're not alone. Like we're all in this together. All when I say in this together, meaning this journey of life, and even if it's your journey with Christ again, um, you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. There's so many others out there, and I'm just creating this safe space for anybody that even wants to listen to these videos, just so you know as well too that there are people out there who actually definitely want to encourage you, want to motivate you on your journey, give you the tools and the resources and everything that you need for your journey. Because I also know when I was transitioning back from living such like a worldly life, and like I said in my previous videos, not that I was living a crazy life, but it's just it wasn't rooted in God. God was not first. Um, and then coming back to Christ, that transitioning point from 2019, I've seen so much transformation within myself. I've seen so much transformation around me, how I live my life. It's a lifestyle change. And so thankful to so many people who actually had videos as well that I could listen to. So I also know that I wasn't alone on this journey because I've took so many turns trying to like search for answers, um, seek out different things, just to get to answers, not realizing that all along it was me in search of God. Um, yeah, but I'm so thankful. I am so grateful for all those people um, who already had on their journey, and then I could sit down and watch and realize, and I'm like, "Ah, I'm not alone in this. Like, and sometimes there were times I'm like, I knew I was going through certain things internally, and I just didn't have the answers, and people around me didn't know either. But YouTube is such a beautiful space. I had the videos, and I can listen to somebody else's journey, and that's what helped me along the way too. So this space is just for somebody else who I don't know where you are at in your journey, but hopefully it's a safe space for you. Hopefully it's a space where you also will feel that you're not alone. Um, and it's a great place just for transformation, for growth, for love, for encouragement, um, for guidance, definitely. Um, yeah, so I'm so grateful that um, to each and every single one of you guys who will take the time sit down, listen to these videos, um, and just know I am praying for you guys and just thankful to the Lord. Absolutely thankful to the Lord. So that's what this message is for. And we're going to go into other things. I have a few prophetic messages. And yeah, so I'll see you guys on the next video with love. Have yourself a great day, you guys.